we have a bucket. Yes, a UFO bucket. It's a, I don't even know what's in here bucket. I got quite a bit of these when I was cleaning. Yeah, I thought I was the queen of not many UFOs. I'm such a liar. Yeah, I clean and I realized, I think I have ventured into the UFO kind of world in the last year. I don't know why, because I used to always have those in check. But supposedly, after cleaning, yeah, I don't have those in check. Not only do I have some of my personal UFOs, which is this, I know I buy UFOs from other quilters. So to me, those are not UFOs. They're someone else's UFOs, and I just finished them off. But no, it's come to my attention that I now own some UFOs. So we're going to bust them out bin by bin. Hi, Pat. Good morning. And who else do we have? Annette, good morning. And Aunt Beck, good morning. Catherine, good morning. Sherry, good morning. We're all coming in. So yesterday I did not come on live. Two reasons. One, we had that horrible storm, and it kicked out the power for a little bit. And hi, Myra. And would you know what? I'm taking like a camping bath using those camping wipes and everything like in between. And then the electric came on. So then I went, literally, it was about ready to walk out. I had probably about 10 minutes. I ran back into the house and let that nice warm water shower me great. So that was one reason. The second reason was because of all the storms, we had so many things, tree limbs fall and everything. Well, my next door neighbor had a fire emergency, so my son, I'm hearing him go running down. Then he's calling me saying, hey, I need the neighbor's number. And I'm like, I only have his sister's number when she lived there. So I'm calling her. She's not picking up. I couldn't sleep to begin with because of all the racket and whatnot. So it was like 12:30 at night. Finally get to bed, probably about 12:45. I had been in bed since 8, but I don't know, subconsciously I'm waking, hearing everything. And then I fall, because I fell right to sleep, and then he calls. And then I fell right to sleep, now she calls. And yeah, and then they were there they were there yesterday too for a little bit too. Let's see, good morning, Myra and Vera. So we had, let's just say not last night, but the night before was a rough night of sleep, of being up, and I was so tired. Some nights my brain just won't stop, and that's what it is. And I just, I was dragging yesterday between that, losing power. I was like, I can't do a live. I really can't. Hi, Melanie. So we didn't, and it's okay. I came home. I was exhausted. I slept quite a bit. So we're going to go in this tub. There's a folded piece here, and then there's a lot of this, and then there's a little piece of this. I'm pretty sure when I was cleaning, this little piece just ended up in there, because I can't imagine that that has anything to do with what's going on here. Let's see what's going on here. Now, this here is big pieces. Oh, do I have, I have that. Okay, because I'm going to have to press some things. So my big iron is on. So I have big blocks that look like this. I'm not even sure what this is. Okay, there's no rhyme or reason for this, honestly, right now I'm looking at it. Because this looks like a half square triangle with like another piece of piecing there. And so, yeah, I'm not sure what this is. It's mine. It must have been some scrappy thing I was working on. I have no idea. So we're going to just sew these up. Now, I don't know, does that go with this? I was working on something else this morning. What was I working on this morning? Oh, I was working on my showstopper, the other colorway. Okay, and then I have this. So actually, I do remember what this is. This is when we were making those lap quilts a long time ago for the nursing home. And these were the ones where you were supposed to cut this in 4 or 3, and then you could put this on point. But you know what? And I had 2 of them to make 2. But you know what? I am actually just going to just sew them. And it's just going to be a nice scrappy block. Hi, Pat. Wow, you are half done with those blocks. I think, yeah, I am. My hubby said my showstopper pattern came, so I see it today. Oh, great. Looks like a potato chip. Well, that's what I thought, Beck, but it's not. It looks like it, but there's some weirdness to it. You know, and this is old. I'm going to tell you, this is old. This is probably dates back to COVID times. And I was watching lots of videos where people were slicing and dicing 9 patches and 4 patches. So that's what I thought this was, because when you look here, you see a 4 patch, and then that could have been like some kind of situation. But then I have this situation. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with that situation. And then I have the center, which is the same. So my guess is I must have like took a 4 patch and made it into an HST, and that's where I got these. And maybe I got these from a disappearing. I really don't know. I'm not sure. So it's a long time. I did some deep cleaning within the rooms, and I know that I just shoved stuff in these bins and said I'd deal with it later. So now I'm going to deal with it. Old COVID times. Yeah. This I remember, and this is an easy thing. I think you take this and you slice this way, and then you slice it this way. You sew those to, and I did a video on that. But I'm not slicing and dicing anything. I'm just going to sew it up. We'll put borders on it, and it'll be a very nice, these both will be very nice pass it forward quilts. So I think that's what we're going to do. It is. It's just, we're just going to finish up some things that I have laying around. Now, if we want to call long arming UFOs, please, then I'm the queen of UFOs when it comes to long arming. But because lately I just been doing it as need basis. All right, so here we are. Okay, I'm gonna turn the camera. No, I'm not gonna turn the camera around. I just need to press this so that we can sew this, and then we'll figure out what we're gonna do with that. Put that on the design board, and then maybe we can have one. You know what? I don't even think I need to press this. I think we're pretty good. I think we're pretty good. You know what? We're just going to go ahead and take these 2 panels, and hopefully things are going to be nested. We're going to pray things are going to be nested. Let's see. Yeah, actually things are going to be nested. Things look like they're going to be nested, so we're going to be good. Hi, Mona. How are you? I have you on the top camera looking down, but it's harder for me to read some things that are going on. Let me try to bring this closer to me. Oops, sorry. There we go. All right, so we're going to pin, because I'm just going to put these 2 together and take it from there. And yeah, so we're going to do that. So everything is quiet with the weather. It all blew over, thank goodness, because it was a crazy couple days. Hi, Christina. And let's see. You know, I read this question and then we never did the answer. So, whoops, here it is. Crows are the smartest birds. True or false? Crows are the smartest birds. Yep. I am so lucky that this is at this point, nothing needs to be on point when I'm doing this. I'm just trying to finish this up. True, true, true. Hi, Deb. Good morning. Oh, what about Thangles? Let's see. I've been watching. Oh, who is that? Hi, Sherry. I've been watching your Thangles, and I had to go buy some. Oh, did you? Did you tell him I sent you? I mean, he probably. Did you try it? So I couldn't even yesterday get a Thangles block put together. I was really that tired. I came home. Oh, yesterday was St. Patrick's Day. I was all dressed in green too, all ready to go on a live because I was already greened up. Hi, Lori. I came home. What we did is before, when the power came on, because I was like, oh no, I can't put my corned beef now in the slow cooker. And so when it came on, I was excited. Honey helped me, and we got the corned beef in the slow cooker. So we had corned beef last night with potatoes and cabbage. What else? I made mini Irish soda breads with the raisins in it because we like the raisins in it. I couldn't get caraway. I was out of caraway and they didn't have any at the store. So we made little mini that. And I had made a sour cream, horseradish, and whole grain mustard sauce. So we did get to eat that last night. And after we left that, he went to go visit, he went to go take some to his mommy and his mama, my honey. And my son was doing some fire department training. So he had his when he came home at whatever hour that was, because I was fast asleep. Yeah, he went to go take some of the corned beef to his mama, and I got into comfy PJs and went right into my bed to watch my TV, fell asleep, and he came home. I said goodnight and went back to bed. That was my whole fun night of St. Patrick's Day. So when I make my Irish soda bread, I soak my raisins. I like to make them real plump before they go in so they don't get dried out. And so in the morning when I put my corned beef in the slow cooker, I went ahead and boiled some water, and I just put a very little bit of boiled water. So I put my raisins in a bowl with a little bit of boiled water, and then I put some whiskey. Just not that much. We're not talking about like boozing them, but yeah, you put in a good helping. And then I let that soak all day, and then when I came home, I made my Irish soda bread. I don't know, it gives it a little extra zip. It really does. I also use beer as my liquid in my Irish soda bread instead of like some people who use milk and other things. Let's see. Good morning, Giovanna. We had corned beef and cabbage. I made German rye, and I made a sheet cake with white icing and green colored coconut. Ooh, that sounds delicious. I haven't had a cake in forever. That sounds super delicious. Yeah. Super good, super good. All right, now this is done. Now the fun part is going to be to find some kind of border for this. So it could just be something basic as, you know, black, but I don't know, maybe I'll do something else. I use beer in my crepes. It makes it fluffy. Oh, I never thought about putting beer in crepes. Oh, I'll have to try that. I like booze. I booze up my dried fruits when I make Lady Baltimore cake at Christmas. Oh, yes. Yeah, that is good. So here it is. Here is. And you know what? I am going to take it right. I'm going to take you all to the design board because we got to figure out what this other thing is that I got going on there. And I want to measure this. Okay, I'm moving and we're going to move. Here we go. So now, I don't know. Is this a square? Did I just make a square? I don't even know what I made here. Let's see. So we're going to, I'm going to count and see where I am with this. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. These are charms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I sure did make a square. I did make a square. Okay. So I have a square going on here. And this is 53 and a half. So I want to unsquare this to a rectangle. So I'm going to say, well, that's 53. That means 53 and a half and 53 and a half. So I'm going to say I'm going to add 2, maybe 3 more. You know what? I don't have to put a border on this. I could just keep adding charms to this, and then I don't have to worry about a border. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm just going to keep adding charms to it. Let's see. Has anyone tried the vodka and distilled water spray starch recipe? I have not. Oh, I put marsala in my bacon for carbonara. That sounds good. That sounds really good. I have not, because I'm still using the Simply Starch. So I think that's what I'm going to do with this. I think I'm going to grab a whole bunch. Let me go grab them, actually. We've got a whole bunch already. Let's go grab them. You all send me charms? You do. You send me charms. And then I buy charms at thrift stores or things like that. Just take a few rows off the sides and add them to the top. I could do that, but I don't want to unpick anything, and 53 is a good size there. So we're just going to add. We have tons. I mean, there's no shortage here. Because I buy, you give, we got it. Look, I have a bag right here of charms. So I'm just going to grab these charms and call it a day. There we go. I'm just going to add all those charms to this. Look at that. Here's a piece that I just found, a random piece. I have this. That's, yeah. Okay, so we're going to add those charms to there. Because, as a matter of fact, yeah, I think 3 more, because let's see what's a generous throw. I have this thing here. A generous throw, lap size is 48 by 53. 48 by 68. So 48 by 68. So we know this is 53. That's good. And 53. So let's just round to 55, 60, 65. So it says 2. I'm going to do 3, though. I'm going to do 3. Or whatever this gives me. 2 or 3. And that's good. And then I'll have to worry about no stinking borders. Good morning, Eva. Oh, you wanted to see me rip? Yeah, I'm not ripping. I don't think I would rip this. I think I'd be too chicken to rip this, honestly. Okay, so we have a game plan for this. Now that I put this together, we're just going to add 3 more rows of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, 3 more rows of 12. So that's 36. 36 charms we're going to add to that. And let's see what we got going on here. I have no idea how to do this, what I did, or how to even reconstruct this. I have absolutely no clue. All right. There we are. I'm going to put that there. And this here. Now, I have 2 more of these. So I think that's basically it. I think I just need to put this together. This is going to need a border because I could tell that this is not wide enough yet. This was 50 and a half. And this is without, and this is 51, and then add another one. So this is going to be like a 76-ish kind of quilt. All right, 76-ish kind of quilt. Is this too much going on? What if I somehow convert this to a quilt of valor? Because I have, the length of this is 80. The only thing is that I would have to add some fabric to here, 55, but not much. Okay, Pat, would you take this as a quilt of valor? I am trying to find homes. Let's see what people have to say. Oh, by the way, on that crow's thing, before I forget, is true. Crows are the smartest bird is true. Blue jays follow close behind. Owls, by comparison, are dullards. All right, here we go. Let's see. This is real scrappy. Yeah, this was some COVID thing that I did. I couldn't tell you what I was doing back then. Do one of the top. Wait, do one on the top and one on the bottom. Yes, I make vodka and distilled water starch. It works good. Cheapest vodka you can buy unless you want to drink it too. Yep, Kathy, I got vodka, but I haven't made the starch yet. I just love the way it is. I do, but I want to make it so that it can go to some organization. Hi, Lisa. How are you? Good morning. So because I want to make it go to an organization, if your organization will take this, let me know, because then I will leave it as is, or I will extend it to the 60 by 80. And Pat may be gone, and I may have to just text her separately. I'm gonna sew the 6 panels together. I'm gonna sew the 6 panels together and then work from there. All right, let me see what these look like though if I put this on here. This would go here. All these fabrics I'm seeing are fabrics from when I lived in Texas. That's how old some of this fabric is from. I recall using some of this fabric long time ago. Like a long time. Good morning, Johnny. ¿Cómo estás? Okay, so I'm going to move us over to this over here. And then, there we go. And put us down. All right, so we are going to take these two. And you know what? I'm gonna think that nothing here is probably going. Oh, and this has to go over there. I'm excited. I got 2 quilts out of that bucket. I have more buckets of. I have no idea what's in them buckets. So I'm glad to move and go. All right. So here we are. Well, that actually worked out pretty good. This one, not so much, but it's not a big, bulky. It's not too bad. And this one worked out great. Where the half square triangles are, they just happen to nest. I think I was watching, was it me? It's me, Jessica Lee, when she said her UFOs were a lot of UFOs that had a lot of HSTs in them. Oh, okay, here is Pat. We will take anything as long as it doesn't have juvenile print or like holiday stuff. We can make scrappy quilts. Oh, well, I'm going to have to take up close video. I'm going to have to take up close pictures, Pat. Because right now I see a little chickie staring at me. Most of it doesn't. I see a little girl. I see fish. I do see Air Force planes on here. Just happens to be on here. I remember the quilt I made for that. It was for someone who was a military family and they had a baby and they wanted a plain quilt because they were in the Air Force. Yeah, there's hat, gloves, mitts. I don't know. I'm gonna have to take pictures and send them to you. You decide, because here's Snoopy right now, look, playing with a soccer ball. And here's a magician over here. Not many. Oh, we got a cowboy too. This is a true scrappy quilt. I don't see any Christmas in here. And I don't know, there's a Easter-ish egg next to the chick. But it looks more like a chocolate egg. I mean, it doesn't scream juvenile or holiday, but I do see teeny tiny pieces. So if you can't take it, that's fine. Just let me know, because I'm not going to put a board. I won't put the border on this. Here. I will find a home for this. There will be another home for this. Here we are. Wow, I am getting lucky. Look at that. I couldn't ask. Maybe I did have the idea of doing this and I just never finished it. I must have seen some other project or had to put this away for some reason. But it was COVID, so I didn't have projects back then. I don't know. All right. Let me see what we have here. What about sending the quilt over? Yes, that's what I mean. I will find, E-Marie, I will find, it might be better for your teen quilts. Okay, I will, yes, I will send it over there. Thank you. Well, that organization does all kinds of things. They just were outfitting a teen shelter at that moment, but they actually have family homes and whatnot. So and now my next one here. Oh yeah, because look, I had a little nursery print there. That fabric is when my daughter, this fabric is over 30 years old. That fabric there was the fabric, the layette set for my daughter. So when my daughter was, when I was pregnant with my daughter, I made the whole layette set. I did not buy one, and I used that fabric. And I made the curtains, everything in the nursery, and we lived in an apartment at that time, was with that fabric. Wow, lots of memories. I love scrappy quilts. I love them because it just reminds you of all the things you did. And then I remember I took those layette set curtains and I just cut them up and used them in quilts that, like my daughter, like other scrappy quilts I made my kids. So they were repurposed after she was a little baby into quilts. I can't believe there's even still a little piece of that around. It's 30-something years. My daughter's going to be 31 next month. So, yeah. So that's been that particular fabric. I'm sure a lot of these fabrics in here probably date back there because you know what? I see another fabric. I had made a cover with for when my second son was born. I made a cover for the rocker because the rocker was tan when I used it with my daughter, and then when he was born I remember that I recovered it with this green material that's right here. I'm staring at it. It's right here, this block. So I know I made slip covers for that. And I don't know how I did things like that because I don't feel like I could do that now. I know I never used zippers. I was really big into Velcro. But there's, when I'm done with this, I'll show it to you. So that's at least probably a little, probably just under 30 years. This is like fitting here so perfect. There it is. It's like I can't even, wow. I mean, so here's a piece of my daughter's, here's a piece of my son's. I don't see anything, well, maybe there's stuff in here from when Butters was little. I don't know. Yes, there is. I see it now because that Chicky. So I made my son's set was a I Spy quilt, an octagon I Spy quilt. Lots of Y seams. Lots of Y seams. And I see some things in here, some fabric in here that is from that. So when it was COVID, I hardly had any fabric. I wasn't a prolific quilter. I wasn't a quilter that had a lot of fabric. Basically, what I had was shoebox size, tiny shoebox sizes of fabric. Maybe, I want to say, maybe 8 buckets, 8 shoebox size of fabric. Because they were basically from little things I worked on, the leftovers. I bought exactly what I needed. I never had money because I had the kiddos. I never had extra money just to buy fabric, just to buy it because I like it like I do now. You know, I like fabric. I see it and then I collect it. I didn't ever have that luxury. So then COVID came around, out came out the sewing machine again and all that jazz. And I pulled out the buckets. They were even in storage. And I just started sewing. And then his mom was making masks. And then she was giving me her like scraps. And I was making masks. So I bought fabric online through Joann's. And then we did pickup because you could order online and pick up with Joann's. That's when all the collecting started. Because then I realized, oh, you can buy fabric online? Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe that was a thing. You should have seen me. I was crazy. I was going to Joann's. I was getting orders from Fat Quarter Shop. I found Missouri Star. Oh boy, that's where it went. This is why I'm here today, because of that. Let's see. Sounds like a great I Spy. Might be better. Yes. Let's see. No way you are not 30. Well, thank you, Giovanna. I'm way older. Now 6 years later, you have a time. Yes, 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 because then I was making all these masks in my community. So next thing you know, everybody's dropping me off their grandmother's fabric, this fabric, that fabric. Everybody was cleaning, remember? Because people were looking for things to do and people were sending it to me. And then it was COVID. So then I'm leaving it outside, letting it air, washing it. Yeah, it was like a thing. That it was COVID when you really started quilting like this. Yes, where I just non-stop quilting. I have not stopped quilting like 24 hours since COVID. Before COVID, no, I couldn't. I had 3 kids. They were, yeah, and even then they were already grown, but I was working so much. I still am working so much. I don't know. I don't know. The bug hit me at COVID. I set up a quilting, you know, my room where I quilted. And I never had that before. It was always the kitchen table. So then we had that. And then my daughter moved out because she was here during COVID. And I was like, okay, I think I'll take over her room. And it just blossomed from there. So I've been quilting for 30 years, but not prolific like I am now. Basically, I would, you know, take out the sewing machine when something needed to get done. Or I needed new curtains or something like that. But I had never, prior to that, bought anything online. Anything at all. Like the idea of buying fabric. And you know, a big thing was when I first moved back to New York, I did quilt quite a bit. And my kids were little. They used to actually go to sewing classes. They loved it. But what happened was then that place closed down and we lost that quilt shop. And then I never, you know, there was no place for me to take classes. And at that time, I was a quilter that took classes. I didn't even ever do YouTube. I thought YouTube was for music videos, honestly. I thought that's what YouTube was until COVID hit. And then I realized, oh, YouTube is not music videos. It's like a lot on here. So then I became obsessed with that. Yeah, so when they closed down, I kind of like stopped quilting. I used to like quilt often when they were open and buy stuff, but you know, just make the quilts that I need, or you know, a quilt that my mom may need or someone. And then when I started quilting and my community was coming to me about it, I was like, oh, I could do that. You know, I always was volunteer. My entire life has always been some kind of organization or another I volunteered at. So when I really saw there was a need for quilts, I started making them and making them and making them, and now I can't stop. Let's see. Fabric online was a game changer, and shops started to close after that. Yeah, but you see, our shops closed before that. So when they closed, another one came up. And they were only open for about 9 months. I think I went in there 3 times. The next time I went in there, they were shut down. They never had classes. Then there was another one that opened up. Again, the same thing. 1 year, they were out. And then that's it. And, you know, not for nothing, but Joann's was great. But I wasn't inspired by their fabric. I used it, but I wasn't like an inspiration. It wasn't an inspirational, you know, situation. And then you see YouTube, and then that becomes a lot of inspiration. Let's see. Lisa says, the only thing I don't like about buying online is the colors on the screen are not always the same in person. Exactly, Lisa. That's why it blew my mind that you could buy fabric online. I couldn't see how that could be. And honestly, I would order things all the time on Joann's and pick it up and say, oh, this is not what I thought it was, but we need it, so we're going to use it. And we went there. Yeah, the closest quilt shop for me is an hour and a half. When did you get the long arm, Leanna? So I'm going to go on to my long arm. We can't feel the fabric when you buy online. You're right. Hi, Jessica. So the long arm. So that's not my first long arm. That's my second long arm. During COVID, people were having yard sales after, like, you know, really good into it. Like when they said you can go outside and you can open up more. People were having estate sales, and I was buying fabric like that. Then we went to one, and the lady had some sewing stuff, and I said, oh, do you happen to have more? And at that time, my sewing machine was on its last leg. And I'm like, okay, that's even before this. I had an Elna Diva, and it really, I wore it out. My honey fixed it during COVID to the best he could using headphones, like literally like a headphone wire and jack and stuff. But it was pretty much gone. So the lady's like, she says, I have a Pfaff Grand Quilter with a frame, an Inspire frame. And I was like, oh, and she's like, but it's in the attic and it hasn't been used in so many years. And if you want it, you could have it. She told me the price. I think it was like, and it's that's a lot of money, right? It was like $500. But he had to go get the pieces and everything. And she's like, oh, and it comes with the stitch regulator and everything. And I was like, okay. So then he goes to the attic, he brings everything down, and we noticed that the sewing machine, you've seen me use the Grand Quilter by Pfaff here. When this was in the spot, I always used my Pfaff. It was missing the foot pedal. So she's like, well, you can't operate it without the foot pedal. So she then said something like $250, just take it, $250, it's out of my hair, you got it. So we did, we took it for $250, we set it up. That's when we moved from that little room into this room, and he set it up, and that's when I started my whole like venture into donating a lot, because then now I had a way to go ahead and piece things and quilt things. And then on another yard sale, I found a Janome sewist machine, and the lady wanted $20 for it, and I was like, okay. And at that time, my grandmother was also looking for a sewing machine, so I was like, oh, this will be great. I said to my honey, I said, well, if I can't use it, my grandma can use it. And the lady's like, wait a second, can someone use this machine? I was like, yeah. And she goes, well, this is my last day of this sale, so how about I give you that machine for $5? I was like, what do you mean $5? She goes, yeah, $5. I think I used it twice, but if someone can use it, $5. I'm passing it forward to you. She says, if you can't do $5, I said, no, I will give you $10, and thank you very much. So then I used that machine, and then I used that other machine. And then I got this machine, this long arm, about 2.5 years ago to replace the other one. So here we go. Wow, a foot pedal doesn't cost $250. You got to. I did. A new foot pedal cost me $30. She didn't care. The lady didn't care. She was just happy that someone took it out of her thing and it wasn't in her house anymore. She was so happy. Yes, because that's how I got this table. Then I got this table after this. This was a year or a year and a half, maybe 2 years after COVID, maybe. This table was brand new, sitting in someone's. I found this on Marketplace for $250, and it was $250. He said he wouldn't take any less than that. But it was brand new, and he had bought it for his wife, who was an avid quilt, whatever you call it. She was a quilter, okay? And but she unfortunately passed away due to COVID. So, but he was so cute too. We drove about an hour and a half or 2 hours. He was like the mayor of this little tiny town. He was a pip, and he was like questioning me and grilling me, because he said he wanted to make sure that this was going to go to a quilter who's going to use it, and it's not going to just sit there, and it's just not like a little tiny hobby that you do one at a time. He wants soap to be used, because his wife sewed every day quilting for her community. And at that time, I wasn't doing big community work. And so I was doing some, but not huge. And so he's like, okay, I passed. I had to have an interview. No kidding, an interview. I passed. And I showed him pictures. And I said, I'm in the process of like changing things out in my room. And he goes, well, when you get your room set up, I want pictures. So I went home. We worked on the room. We sent him pictures. And he was like, that went to a good home. That was the home that it was meant to be. Oh my goodness. See, this is why I give forward. I pass it forward. It comes back to you. Maybe not immediately, but it eventually makes it around the circle, and you get blessed too. And that whole experience was just fabulous. I also have to pick up my daughter. See you back. What kind of table is that? Talk about a build-up. It is an Aussie. It's an Aussie, not so steady. Arrow table. And it goes out and it folds up and it does everything. I mean, these tables are, and he knew it. He said he paid it. He said, but he wasn't asking for that money. He bought it for his wife. The only thing he was asking for is that it goes to a sewer or a quilter that will use it. And one that is always sewing. I think I still keep up with that. Oh, hello, Nikki. He was such a kind man. So there, I want to say probably what, 1,500, 2,000. I don't know how much he paid for it. It was partially assembled because I guess when his wife became sick, he was in the process of doing it. So Honey brought it home in pieces and re-put it to, you know, put it together. He was so adorable. He's telling me, he just told me his wife died. He's doing this and that, but he's telling me about his new girlfriend. It was so funny. He's like, oh yeah, what do you, he's asking me girlfriend advice. He's like, I can't live by myself. He's like, I miss my wife. I need a new wife. And I just met this lovely woman, and he's telling me the date they were going on. Like, he was getting like TMI, but he was super sweet. And he's like, well, she cooks and she cleans and she's my age. And I think he was in his late 70s. He had me cracking up. He had me cracking up. He goes, yeah, these kids, they want me to go on the internet, but you know, I met her through a town function, and it was funny. It was funny. Wonderful. I just picked up a simple arrow table at auction. You got that arrow for a song. Yes. Yes, it was. The whole thing was a pip. The whole thing about the whole interview thing was a pip. And then the whole thing of after it was being loaded in my car, all of a sudden he's unleashing that he's got a girlfriend and that he's only dating to look for a wife. It was just very funny. Okay, so here we are. And so here it is. We have this. So this is good. So I still have to put a border on this, because if it's going to go to the home, the organization that I do, and I have to talk to her actually, I need to make sure that it is that 60 by 80 size as well. All these little papers I have all over. So I'm excited. We've got one thing down. He sounds adorable. Hi, Chris. I'm looking at the thrift shop for a new table. Well, check Marketplace. Hi, Sherry. Thank you for my clover. I'm going to put this aside. I'm just going to start sewing up some of these and calling it a day. I'm going to just start sewing. These look more like, yeah, we're just going to go with it. We're going to flow with it. I'm going to go put this on the bottom now, because I am having a hard time reading. Sorry. I just thought it was adorable. He was going on and on about cooking and stuff like that. So, with that said, good morning, Norma. Here we go. We're going to have another one here. Ready? Arctic explorers have eaten steaks cut from frozen woolly mammoth carcasses. True or false? Arctic explorers have eaten steaks cut from frozen woolly mammoth carcasses. True or false? So what I may do is, looking at this right now, what I may do is add these, like these here on the top and the bottom, just to kind of mix up the fabric a little. Yeah, that's right. It is 5. Yeah, I had to think for a second. Did I do 5 or did I do 4.5? But I did 5. False. Yuck. False. Oh, geez, I hope false. Well past the sell-by date, if you ask me. Yes, yucky is right. And yes, way past the sell-by date. Way past that date. Oh, you know what I want to show you? I want to show you the other colorway. It came out so nice. I worked on that this morning. Let's see. Let me show you. I guess that was part of this thing. And this says Henry Glass Scraps of Kindness. This on here. And this was with that. So maybe it was in the same thing. Let me grab my, here we go. Oh, and I cut out. I've been productive. Look, I wrote notes because I cut out so that I don't have to do that other thing that I did before. And so here is that other colorway of Manhattan blocks. See? So this was the other one and this. And we are going to do block 3. Hopefully, if I go on a live tomorrow, it's already all cut and ready to sew up. So we have another true. So here we go. It is a myth. It's false. But the team that discovered the Boiceville mammoth said they considered trying the meat, but fed it to their dogs instead. You know someone tried it. They just didn't want to admit it. Come on. If they cooked it and fed it to their dogs. And still, why would you feed that to your dogs? That is so old. Ooh. Well, there you go. There's your answer on that. Someone ate it. But this is from the Boiceville mammoth. I don't know where that is from. I'm pretty sure I probably didn't even say that right. Okay, St. Bernard dogs are raised for food in China. True or false? You know what? I don't even want to do this question. Yuck. I mean, I'm sorry. I shouldn't say yuck. You know what? Forgive me. It is not for me to say, okay? The answer is true, but we're not gonna dwell on that. We're not gonna dwell on that because I love doggies and cats and I can't. But then again, I love chickens and I eat chicken, so it's not for me to say. Okay, I'm gonna move on. I inserted foot. Now I've taken it out. Yeah, it's not my thing either. Okay. Cobras can't be hypnotized by a snake charmer's music. True or false? Cobras can be hypnotized by a snake charmer's music. True or false? True. We have a false. We have a true. We have another false. If I was to guess, I would said true. If I would have made a guess. But the answer is false. It says, although the cobra can hear, it's the snake charmer's motion, not his music, which hypnotizes the creature. And with that said, there you go. Now here's another question. Man is the only creature that favors his right over his left side. Nay, in the cartoons they were. False, true. Yes, in the cartoons they were. They go nee, 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 nee. I remember with the basket, whether you were watching Bugs Bunny or the Roadrunner or Elmer Fudd. Oh no, I lost bobbin, whatever it calls. I've lost it. My bobbin's done. I've been sewing without bobbin. Welcome to my world. let's see, where am I? Oh, I'm here. This did not get sewn all the way, so we'll have to give that a little go. And we'll have to re-sew these. I hate when that happens, and it happens to me often. I don't know, not too long ago, I swear I did a whole entire good 20 minutes probably sewing without bobbin. I was so ticked off at it myself. All right, so this is, we need to do more doubles. More doubles. Let's do more doubles here. We have true, true, and a false. Now, if these don't match this really well, I'll find another charm pack that will. I mean, I'll just use this for something else. It won't go to waste. I'll just sew up that other charm pack. Morning, Cindy. How are you? So it says here that it's false. It's a myth. It says, many animals display limb dominance. Studies have shown parrots and polar bears tend to be left-footed, while many racehorses are right-legged. Here we go. I'm going to do a survival question right now. Ready? How to survive a hurricane in your home. How to survive a hurricane in your home. A, take cover in the shower stall of your bathroom. B, take cover in a closet under the stairs. C, take cover in an attic. So with those choices, if I'm in Puerto Rico, bye-bye, guys. I'm flying away because I don't have any of that. I have none of that. That will be holds the closest. I don't even know what. I don't have anything. I mean, I'd have to just kind of sit in the corner and pray. I would go into my, you know where I'd be? I'd be in the part of my house that has the concrete roof area. Not where the metal roof is, and maybe go on the inside of it and just start rezando. Adios is my guess, because kiss my butt goodbye at that point. I think you just hunker down in Puerto Rico. I don't think anybody does any of those things. Well, maybe see, my bathroom has the scene, which is the metal, so the metal roof. So that would not be a good place for me to hide. And I don't have any stairs. So let's see. BABBLOL built a hurricane shelter. So yeah, so the answer is to take cover in a closet under the stairs, but I don't have no stairs. So yeah. The other thing is be proactive. I guess you could be proactive and take the first flight out for me, but I was not there during Maria. I came right after. I actually had been home for 2 weeks prior to Maria. So they were calling for a hurricane, and I had to be back to school. So I just left a little early and just made sure everything was really good. This is at my mom's house at that time. So, yeah. Okay. Oh, here we go. How to enjoy a sick day without being caught. A, wear sunscreen. Did we do this one? And how to enjoy a sick day without being caught. A, wear sunscreen and take your phone off the hook when you go out. B, do not pay for anything with your credit card when you go out. Or C, call into work frequently from your cell phone, choosing quiet places, quiet spots from which to make the calls. Eight. I need rows of 12. So I have 8 here. So I need another set of 4 for that 8 that I have. And right now I have 6. I'm going to be all over the place here. And I'm figuring these out. Let me see. B, if you have stairs, otherwise tub if you're in their bathroom and don't have windows. B, don't pay for anything with your credit card when you go out. Is that what we're talking about, Norma? We're behind the stay home one. Stay home and sew. Hi, Barbara. Here they do surprise visits from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., then from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. to make sure you're home. Really? When you call out on a sick day? What kind of place is that? I mean, I live right across the street from the school, so all they have to do is look out their window. But the thing is, if I'm sick, normally I'm at the doctor's, you know? So no big surprise there. Wow. All right, so they're saying it's A, wear sunscreen and take your phone off the hook when you go out. The thing is that this is really old cards because nobody has a phone on the hook. Because most of us have cell phones, right? I mean, I know I don't have a phone in my house. I can't remember the last time. I mean, for a while there, I rocked a phone in my house. And then it went through the Wi-Fi. But then when the Wi-Fi goes down or power goes down, you have no phone. So then I was like, well, what's the point of this? Okay, I'm going to put this one in. And then we have 2, 4, 6, 8. So then I just need a double or a 4. A 4-pack goes on here. Let's see. My job only does PTO regardless how you use them. Yeah, most people do. Because you don't do a sick day, you do a sick paid week. Oh, well, that's different. If you're out for the week, it's a whole different situation. I mean, that's nice that they give you a whole week. Here, they're like, you stop coughing, you stop throwing up, okay, go back to work. It's, yeah, there's no week involved. And here is another. So we have now, with this said, I have all my pieces, so my 3 rows that I could just add to that. I could just add this to it. And let's see, 8. Oh, I need to do another 4. So let me go ahead and grab 2 more sets, all right, to add to this. Can't get this. Here we go. And then I'll add that to this, and then we have our 3 rows to extend it. And maybe 4 rows actually, but I don't know. We're going to start with 3 rows and see how that goes. let you know. Or I may just do it tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to do Showstopper again. We'll be working on block 3 to kind of get me caught up, because I think I said we were going to do, did I say 2 blocks a week so that we could get it done in a month? I don't remember what I said, to tell you the truth to you guys. So, but I'm going to do another one tomorrow. I have it all cut out, prepped, ready to go. And instead of doing half square triangles, we're going to do flying geese, because 2 of the half square triangles equal a flying geese, and I think it'll go faster. And there's a lot, because if not, that next clue has a ridiculous amount of HSTs, like a lot. And it's not ridiculous. I mean, you know, that's how quilts are. Let's see. Too many people in the past was doing a second job while paying for sick leave, so now they check. Oh, okay. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and then I have 12 here. So I'm going to probably, depending on how long this is, I'm probably going to add maybe 4 rows, because I'm looking at this, and this is fine. This will match this, but it'll kind of look a little strange. You know what I could do, and I'm not going to rip it. Too bad I just put those 2 together, because I could have put it right in the middle and had a middle piece. I may do a 4th one so it doesn't look awfully strange. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. Maybe, I don't know. I'll figure it out. Yeah, I said 3, but now I'm looking at it and I'm thinking maybe I'll have to figure it out. 4. I have to figure out how to make it so it mixes it up a little in there. Or I'm going to have to just use it for something else. I don't know. If it looks strange, I'm not going to like it. That's basically it. So with that said, I have to go to work. Yeah, you know, that thing that pays the bills, I got to go do that right now. So everyone, please take care of yourself and pass it forward. If you don't mind on your way out giving me the thumbs up, I would also appreciate it. See you tomorrow. We are going to do the Showstopper. We're going to do number 3, which will be on page 5, called Promenade, Block A. I am going to happen to use this Quilt in a Day thing that I have, ruler template, and these are the fabrics that are all cut out. So I will see you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.